Good evening. Last time when we were here in the English lecture, we started a series, remember? Laws of repentance. The laws of making tshuva. We finished the first part because it comes in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Hopefully we'll be able to finish another chapter today. But to refresh your memory, last thing we finished in that shiur was Ezoi Tshuva Gmura. This is according to Rambam. Rambam brought it mainly from Masechet Sanhedrin. Masechet Sanhedrin is a combination of all the information Hashem gave us in Har Sinai. And, and obviously this is the most important subject in the Torah. The most important subject in the Torah because tshuva is the most important thing in life. A person makes tshuva, he gets a ticket to life of eternity, full of rewards for all the mitzvot he keep. If he doesn't make tshuva, he chas v'shalom, God forbid, lose his share to the world to come. Lose his share to the world to come. It's not a joke. That's why, the same way, people who wants to be doctors, they do everything they can to learn good and to be good doctors. Same thing lawyers, same thing accountants, same thing computers. Everything, driver, he learns the roads, doesn't want to be embarrassed. The most important thing, which is tshuva, a person has to know how to do. Put so much energy, so much efforts, in the end you make mistakes, you don't do tshuva, you don't correct. It's like building a house with the wrong foundation. You build 100 floors and one day collapse. A little bit more attention in the beginning, everything will be perfect. Most people, I promise you, have no idea how to make tshuva. Can be people with big beards, black hats. They learn in yeshiva many things. They know chumash very good. To make tshuva, they don't know how. I don't know. I see all the time from the questions that they ask that they have no idea what tshuva is. So, Bezrat Hashem, let's clarify some of these things. The Rambam writes in chapter 2 in Ilchot Tshuva, Ezoi tshuva gmura. What's considered a perfect tshuva? What's the one? זה שבא לידו דבר ועשה, a person that has an opportunity now to make a sin. הוא פרש ולא עשה מפני התשובה. He can easily make the sin. But the reason he doesn't do it right now is because, hey, I'm bebal tshuva, that's it. I'm not touching this kind of sin. The Rambam says, לא מיראה ולא מכישלון כוח. Not because he was afraid that the police will catch him robbing a bank, or stealing money, or forging a signature, who knows, and to cheat someone, or anything like this. Or not because he was afraid two witnesses will see him and report him to the Jewish court and they execute him for doing Chilul Shabbat. Not because of that. Or not because he's paralyzed, or because he's sick in bed and he cannot do Chilul Shabbat or make sins with his girlfriend. Not because of that. He can do it 100% like he used to do it all the years. Nothing is holding him. The only thing he holds him back is, what is it? The only thing who holds him back is the taking Hashem to consideration. That Hashem said not to do it, and now he wants to correct his evil way. Ketzad, Rambam gives an example. Are sheba alisha be'avera. He used to make a sin with his girlfriend. Now he said to her one day, I'm going to yeshiva in Monsey. That's it. No more. I cannot be with you anymore because I have to go. I want to learn Torah. Please do not disturb me. Don't bother me. Anything you want. And let's say 2 months later, he comes to Queens to visit his parents for Shabbat. He lands here in Main Street. On the way home, he sees his girlfriend come. Hi, Itzik. How are you? You know how it starts. I've been sending you so many messages. You ignore my messages. No, I was learning Torah. I told you, don't disturb me. Come, let's have a cup of coffee. That's an opportunity, no? And my parents are away. They went to Israel. She sends messages. He can go and make a sin now. Nobody holds him. And he doesn't do. This is a perfect tshuva. Now I want to ask you a question. Between you and me, this is a perfect tshuva? What about all the money he's still stealing in business or whatever he does? What about Shabbat that he's not 100% keeping yet? What about Lashon Hara that he still speak every minute? What is all this? It's a perfect tshuva. So that's it. He leaves the girlfriend, he doesn't touch the girls anymore, and he's already a tzaddik. Why Rambam used this? This is Rambam. You know who Rambam was? You take an IBM computer, his brain is a peanut compared to the Rambam's brain. If you know who was the Rambam. If the Rambam writes everything, is very, very deep, very precise. You don't learn it just like you learn any books today that are written in our generation. Every letter here, it's calculated 1,000,000 times before he wrote it. What is he trying to tell us by writing this? That if you get to this level, everything else is a piece of cake. This is the hardest test. You have this desire now for a woman, and you don't go and do it, then that means you got to a level that everything else you can do. What's to keep Shabbos? Difficult compared to this? What? To eat shulent, to sleep, to read a book. That's hard compared to this? Huh? What can come compared to this sin? What else you can compare? This is the highest difficulty, especially for the young guys, especially for the single guys. And this is what Shlomo HaMelech wrote. Zechor et borecha b'imei bachurotecha. It's not so difficult to be tzaddik and not to touch the girls when you're 65 years old. No, big deal. Oh, that's it. No, all your life you made sin, you're not so hungry anymore. Even though in our generation, even this is not true. But when you're 18, when you're 17, when you're 20, when you're 25, this is the ages that the Yetzer Hara is like fire inside the body. This is where Hashem is testing you. Prove to me on this. I know many Baalei Tshuva. They keep Shabbos, they work with Yarmulke, Tzitzit, even go to mikveh, some of them. But they still waste seed. They make sins. They don't dare to go touch a girl because they work with the Yarmulke, they're embarrassed. But they make other sins. It's like taking one of the foundation of the building and break it. The whole building will fall down. Aha, you built so much, millions of dollars of material. This is the foundation of a life of a person. Yes. In a future lectures, we'll talk about the damages that it makes the body and the soul. Well, future lectures, maybe not today, but we will see. The Rambam brings a list of all the sicknesses it causes a person, that sin. How it ruins the parnasah, how it ruins the life, how it ruins the children later on. So many problems come from this. How to believe? How to believe? A person see how, if a person reads what the Torah say about this, forget about it. So the test that the Rambam described, if you pass this kind of test, then you know you finally made a nice level of achievement. Let's move on. What happens if he's an old person and now he begins to make tshuva? Say 65, 70, 75. That's it. He's not a young kid anymore. And at that time, even if he wants to make a sin with a girl, he can't. Let's see, 75 years old, he's barely walking. So he's not in a situation to make sins with the women. Now he wants to make tshuva. And because he makes tshuva, he doesn't make that sin. But before he made tshuva, he also didn't make this sin. What changed? Before he became Shomer Shabbat, for 5 years he's already not touching the women. He's a very old man, hardly walks. So now he became Baal Tshuva and he doesn't make that sin. Does it count? Or he doesn't get any credit for it? What do you think?
He doesn't get any credit.
It counts little bit.
I think it counts, but not as if you would have done it when you were younger.
That's for sure. This is obvious. Rambam say, like you all said the right answer. אף על פי שאינה תשובה מועילה, even though it's not a perfect repentance, מועלת היא לו, מועילה, it's benefit him, and הרי הוא בעל תשובה, and it still count like a בעל תשובה. Even though you have to know the rule in life. The more difficult the mitzvah is, the more reward you get. The easier it is, the lighter the reward is. If a person has very strong desire to steal and he doesn't steal, and his friend doesn't have any desire to steal and he doesn't steal, the one who has desire gets a much bigger reward. Because he's dying to steal and he's holding himself not to because of Hashem. The other one doesn't have the urge. You understand? And many other ways. Let's move on. Even if he made sins all his life, and he made tshuva in the day he died, today in the evening he's going to die, in the morning he made tshuva, umet b'tshuvato, is made of perfect tshuva in the last day of his life, his sins are forgiven. Hashem takes it to consideration. Now we're going to see what does it mean to make tshuva. What does it mean? Just to cry a little bit, Hashem forgive me? Is that enough? Let's see. Maya tshuva, the Rambam asks. What's tshuva? That a person automatically, from the day he decided to become Baal Tshuva, immediately would leave the sin. Tshuva, one big tshuva, it's a combination of millions of small tshuvot. You know what's the difference? For instance, I'll give you an example. A person that wasn't Shomer Shabbat, now he's correcting the sin of Chilul Shabbat. So now he made tshuva on Shabbat. Doesn't mean he made tshuva about stealing. Doesn't mean he made tshuva about sins with the girls. Doesn't mean he made tshuva about kosher food. He made tshuva about Shabbat. So that's a partial tshuva. Then one day he makes tshuva about stealing. He returns what he stole. He doesn't steal anymore. So now it's another tshuva. 2 tshuva already. Now he makes another tshuva one day about eating kosher food strictly. So that's a 3rd tshuva. The more tshuvot he make, it adds to one long, big, and perfect tshuva. When we speak in general about tshuva, we're talking about recovering from all his sins. But there are also specific tshuva. A person can be religious all his life, but he has one problem. What is problem? Lashon hara. It happens. It's very, very common by religious people. They're very strict. They learn. They do things. Lashon hara. They talk here and there. One day they decide no more. Especially after they watch the lecture we did here, email from God. If you came here that night, people who hear this, they think 1,000,000 times before they say lashon hara. Okay. So Rambam say, "Ma'ya tshuva." שיעזוב החותך חטאו ויסירו ממחשבתו. 2 things right away. You stop making the sin, please pay attention. You stop making the sin and you remove it from your mind. You don't want to think about it anymore. No?
How do you do that?
We'll see. ויגמור בליבו, and he will make a final decision in his heart, שלא יעשה עוד, that he will never ever repeat that sin again. עוד שנאמר יעזוב רשע דרכו. This is what the Torah says. Rasha, wicked person, has to leave his bad way, to leave it, to drop it. I have nothing to do with that anymore. וכן יתנחם על שעבר. Not enough to leave the sin and to accept never to do it again. Not enough. He has to have a broken heart and to regret every time he ever made that sin. If not, it's not a perfect tshuva. If a person think about his girlfriend Christine, that is not with her already a year, he's never gonna dare to be with her anymore, or with any other Christine. But sometimes he sits in between learning and thinking, oh, I used to be, a year ago, I used to go to that place. He passed in the area where he used to make the scenes, so he's now thinking in his car, how sweet were the scenes that I used to do. That shows that he's a faker, not a real Baal Tshuva. Because a real Baal Tshuva not only regrets deeply and with a broken heart the things he did against his Creator, he's ashamed of it. Something that you're ashamed of, you never want to remember. If you got caught stealing in a supermarket in front of thousands of customers and the police came and they handcuff you and they put you in a car and everyone points at you, do you ever want to remember how delicious was that night that everybody saw me on television? You want to remember it? Why you don't want to remember it? Because it's a very big embarrassment. Who wants to remember it? As soon as someone talks about it, you change the subject right away. You're allergic to supermarkets from that time. No questions. In the end. Questions in the end. because it's going to ruin the lecture. It reminds me about one guy that went to a supermarket, and after 20 minutes that he was in a supermarket, the security in Israel, it's a true story, it happened about 2 years ago, this thing. Security came and grabbed him and say, "Sir, come to the office." They took him to the inside, the security, the one in charge of the security, and they checked his pocket. The stone one. They checked his pocket. Wait, this one? No, the stone. Yeah, thank you. So they checked his pocket. They see he wasn't the thief. They made a mistake. One religious guy looks like the other. Most of them have beards, So in a camera, they made a mistake. So they tell the guy, "Where did you hide what you stole? Where is it? Where is it?" He said, "What are you talking about? I didn't steal anything." He said, "Don't lie to us. We saw you stealing." He said, Where did you see me?" He said, "Okay, let's rewind the camera. Let's show him." They played the film, and then they see, "You fools, you don't see I'm wearing a different shirt? You don't see it's not me? Yeah, he looks a little bit like me, but it's not me. You couldn't compare the clothes?" So, "Oh, sir, we're so sorry. Forgive us for the embarrassment." What an embarrassment. He said, "Embarrassment? You embarrassed me in front of the whole store, now you tell me to forgive you? You're not doing your job properly. You should have checked 1,000 times before you embarrass a person. You're right. Let us make it up to you. Today, everything you buy, 50% off. Whatever you buy, you can buy the whole store, 50% off." He didn't say you can buy the whole store. He said, "Whatever you buy today, you can get 50% off." Now, he came with a list of 8 items. Diapers, flour, sugar, 20 shekel, whatever it was. Now, he said, an opportunity. Anyway, every 2-3 days we come to shop here. Now I can fill up for the whole month. 50% off. So he stuffed the cart. He was grabbing 2 to the register. Thousands of shekel. Right away, so he talked to the manager. "I'm the one who they told me 50% off." So 50% off. He saved himself thousands of shekel. He comes home. So what's going on here? What, you robbed the store? So he tell her what happened. So his wife is a religious tzadikah. She said, "You have to return everything to the store." He said, "What do you mean to return? I didn't steal anything." He said, "Yeah, but you took advantage on them. They meant you get 50% for what you came to buy. You now took advantage and bought half of the store. Do you think if they knew you're going to buy for thousands of shekels, they'll give you 50% off? Just for embarrassing you?" What's the halacha? What do you think? She's right or he's right?
She's right.
He's right. They're both partially right. My head on.
He's right.
The answer is not only that she's not right, not only she's right, she's completely wrong. Not only was entitled to get 50% on even the whole store, it's still not enough to make it up to him. If he would take him to Beit Din for the embarrassment he caused him, they could go bankrupt, the store, for how much they had to pay in Shamayim for embarrassing a person in public. Therefore, they got away with a very good deal. That's the halacha. They got away with a very big deal. They got away very easy. All right, let's move on. So, the Rambam say to regret, to be embarrassed of what he used to do, ויעיד עליו יודע תעלומות, that the one who knows all mysteries will testify on him that is clean. Who is the one who knows all mysteries? Hashem. Why the Rambam didn't say Hashem and he say יעיד עליו יודע תעלומות? Rambam could have said until Hashem will testify on him that is clean. Why? To highlight the idea is that if people testify on him, doesn't mean he's a real Baal Tshuva. Because people go by the beard. How long is the beard? That's how the mark goes up. Rabbi, but he had such a big beard. I said the Maharishi in India has much bigger beard. And when he kissed Buddha's feet every morning. No, the Maharishi doesn't have beard. Arafat didn't have a beard. Bin Laden doesn't have a beard. Huh? Soon even Obama will have a beard. I heard Obama, what's bother Obama today, you know what? That he heard a rumor that they said that he dyes hair. So they had to clarify to the media, God forbid, my husband doesn't dye his hair.
מה זה דייזר?
צובע את השערות. Big deal, he has maybe a little bit gray hair. That's what the president of the world has to deal with, if he dyes hair or not. No wonder he walks on a beach without his shirt and everyone takes pictures of him and he brag. Imagine a king at the time of the Torah walks like this without a shirt. That would be the last minute of his life, not the last minute of his kingdom. Let's move on. Shh. Not only that Hashem is testified that he will never return to this sin, not only that Hashem said this guy will not ever do that sin again. It's clean, that's it. He makes tshuva on that sin. Not only, the person still have to do every day vidui, confession. Who the Christians learn confession from? Where they got the idea of coming to confess for your sin? The Jews are 13 years before Christianity even started. They do vidui everywhere you go. Every Christian who ever saw a Jew, 3 times a day. Chatati, aviti, pashati. I did, I stole, I cheat, I did. The whole list.
Ashkenaz doesn't do it.
They do in the morning. The Ashkenazim don't have so many sins like the Sfaradim. At least that's what they think. So they do only one vidui in the morning. But I know some Ashkenazim, like New Square Hasidim, they also do in Mincha. Yeah, where I daven Mincha by the Ashkenazim, 2 o'clock, they do vidui. The Hungarians. Okay, that's different customs. But it doesn't matter. The idea is you don't need the tefillah to do vidui. You can sit in your car driving, crying, and tell Hashem, I did this, forgive me for this, forgive me for that. That's a confession. Now, if you confess in front of people, it's even better, because now you receive a lot of embarrassment, but it's not so simple. If you know these people do not know about your sins, and they hold highly of you, and you come and you say, I do this and this and this and sins, it's going to be Chilul Hashem. First thing, no questions. First thing the people will say, oh, if this guy makes such sins, so I'm okay. I'm not such a tzaddik like him. He learns Torah in yeshiva 20 years. If he does it, I feel great. Tomorrow what's going to happen? He feel great about his Christine. Right? Because, I'm not the only sinner. He did it. He's a thief. He's a crook. I'm not the only one. That's the nature of people. In Hebrew, they have a beautiful say for it. Shh. No talking. It's disturbed me very much, the talking. Very much. Because you're very close to me. You know, it's not like I speak on the stage and you're far away. Try not to talk. 1 hour, we finish, and I'll let you go. So, why do they say in Hebrew? They say like this. Tzarat rabim, nechamat tipshim. There are 2 ways to look at that. One way is to say, Tzarat rabim, chatzi nechama. Problems of all the people, it's already half a comfort for the sinner. When a sinner is the only one who made the sin and everybody else was perfect, he feels horrible about his sin. But later when he found out that almost everyone in his class made the same sin, it makes him feel great. He says, oh, I'm not the only loser. Same thing when you fail the test. They have 30 kids in a class. You are the first one who the teacher read your mark. That's how they used to do it in Israel. Moshe Cohen, 35. Yitzhak Levi, 47. This, 95. So the first person who heard that he failed, he feel horrible. But every second he feel better. Why? Another moron. Another moron. I'm not the only one. Here another one. Here is another one. In the end he feel great. No big deal. But in reality it's the biggest stupidity. Why? You wanted to be a doctor. But you're not going to be a doctor because you failed the exam. What does it benefit you that other people also won't be doctors? Does it bring you more money to your pocket? No. That is, what? That's why the answer to all this foolish thinking is, not only that Tzarat Rabim, it's not Chatzi Nechama. The problems of the others, it's a comfort for the fools. Remember this. Tzarat Rabim, Nechamat Tipshim. It's only benefits, supposedly, the illusion It's for the people that are not smart. Someone who's smart, I can care less what they got. I have to worry about my own problem. Im en ani li, mi li. If I'm not going to take care of my soul, nobody will do it for me. When you go to Israel, you have to carry your tefillin with you in a bag. Why you don't put it in a suitcase? Maybe the suitcase will arrive to Tel Aviv, maybe it will go to Moscow. Right? Sometimes people never get their suitcases. Sometimes 2 weeks later, tefillin is on me. I know it's going to get there. You understand? Unless if I won't get there. But if I'll get there, it will get there. Tomorrow I have tefillin. Why? What you do, it's yours. What you count on your children to do after you die, I promise you they won't do. You give them, you say to your son, son, you're a good guy, you've always been a good son. I left you $10 million. After I die, I want you to take 20% of it, help the yeshiva, help the shul, help making balei tshuva. Yes, father, you can count on me. 2 months later, he doesn't remember his father's name. A new car, another house. But it's not his fault. He really wanted to do it. But then his wife told him, you're a fool? Your father was an old-fashioned, you know. He wanted to give 20%. Let's give $50,000 and the rest we'll enjoy. What? You also have children to marry one day. You have to send your children to yeshiva, no? Believe me, the Yetzer Hara will find him a list of mitzvot. As long as the money goes into his stomach. God forbid he won't go to somebody else's stomach. So this is the way it is. You count on him to give, you continue to wait. Do it yourself. You do it, it's done. Nobody will do it for you. That's the way it is. Thank you. That's the way it is. Okay, now let's move on. The Rambam continue. The Rambam says like this. Kol hamitvarber bedvarim. Everyone who makes confession, and in his mind, he knows he's going to repeat that sin anyway. For instance, he goes like this. He comes to shul on Yom Kippur. Hashem, forgive me, I'm a Mechalel Shabbos. Wow, I'm so embarrassed. Chatati. You know, and right away, let's see Yom Kippur is on Thursday. In 2 days from now, he has a picnic with his friend, with his boat. They go in the middle of the Israeli, beautiful Mediterranean Ocean. On a picnic, shish kebab, on a boat. 2 days from now, on Shabbat, they have a picnic plan. And he's standing in Yom Kippur with his talit. He paid $5,000 for the chair. Chatati, aviti, pashati. And then in 2 days, he has the grill. He's already made an order for the pork that they're going to do on Shabbat with his friends. Somebody like this, not only that he doesn't make repentance, he will get an extra punishment for his chutzpah. For coming on Yom Kippur and go like this. I'm a Mechalel Shabbos, forgive me. And he has a planned picnic in 2 days to go. Well, you come standing in front of my judge in downtown Manhattan. Who am I, Mr. Williams? You want to fool me? Who am I, Obama? They can tell me stories. One day is with Husni, the next day is against him. Doesn't know his name, Bichlal. What? You're standing in front of me. I read your mind. I read everything you can think of. You're coming to tell me stories. You regret. I'm sorry. I stole. What do you mean you're sorry? Return the money. Then I'll know you're sorry. Person say, let's steal. He steal the money, now he comes, Hashem, chatati, ganavnu. He said, ganavnu. Return the money. I have people who stole a lot of money from me. Every time they call, if I forgive them or not. I say, when you return the money, I'll forgive you. But they don't want to return the money. They want to count on my generous heart that I'll help him to go to heaven after all. You understand? That's tshuva. Let's say I say, okay, forget about the money. Take the money, whatever. Do you think Hashem will forgive them?
Yeah. And if they don't have to give it?
If I forgive them with 100% clean heart, if it's $100, fine, you forgive a person. You don't want a person to go to Gehenna, but if a person takes 10 years of your life, it's not so simple to forgive him. You know, unless if you're Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, you can say, machul, but in your heart, how do you know if a person is really forgiving or not? Every day, what do we say in the morning? Are ani mochel vesoleach. I'm forgiving everyone who did anything bad to me. 2 hours later, he sees enemy in the street, he's ready to kill him. He with his wife in his car. I chopped this guy's head. Come, let's hit him with a car. Get rid of him once for all. 2 First the guy say, Hashem, I forgive everyone who did something bad for me. So you want to know the truth? You're not allowed to say it. Also, before you go to bed, when you do, I forgive everyone, whatever, if you don't forgive, you're not allowed to say it. It's a lie. Midvar sheker tirchak. You're only allowed to lie in order to make peace between two Jews, to prevent Chilul Hashem, to save your life, to make peace in a family. There are exceptions to the rule. To say a lie in front of Hashem is not it's not permitted. No permission to say a lie. No permission. So the Rambam says, if a person make a vidui and he did not leave the sin, arehu is like a tovel vesheretz beyado, going to the mikveh to purify himself, holding a dead dog in his hand. Nevela. Tovel with nevela in his hand. You understand what's going on here? That's not the right way to do tshuva. A person has to clarify his sins. Sheneemar, how do we know? Ana chata mazeh chata'a gdola. Moshe Rabbeinu comes to Hashem. Hashem comes to Avraham Avinu. He say, your children made a huge sin to me. So Avraham Avinu say to him, imachu al kedushat shemecha. Clean them from the face of the earth. Sounds very bad. Avraham Avinu, ish chesed, helping strangers, bringing them, feeding them for free. Even Dina Moshe didn't reach Avraham Avinu's chesed. Not far, but still didn't reach Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, strangers on the street, hundreds of people come eat for free for years. Who knows how much money it was costing him? Arabs, people walking in the desert, come eat. Just bless the one who gave the food. That's his mind. Avraham Avinu, he makes seminars. Avraham Avinu. Baruch Hashem, there are millions of Baalei Chesed in history who are the symbol of the Chesed Avraham Avinu. Hashem comes to Avraham Avinu, what does he say? Imachu al kedushat shemecha. Erase them from the face of the earth. They made the golden calf. Goodbye. That's what it sounds like. That's not what he says. Don't make mistake. Bottom line, he comes to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu says like this: Ana Hashem, please Hashem, your nation made a huge sin. What kind of a lawyer is this? Imagine you hire a lawyer to save you from a murder trial. They want to execute you in an electric chair. Your lawyer comes to the judge. Dear Judge Williams, my client made a horrible crime. Not only that you fire him, no customer will ever hire that lawyer. That's for sure. This Moshe Rabbeinu comes to Hashem. Usually Moshe Rabbeinu always protected them. No, erase me from your book. You want to destroy them, destroyed me. I don't want to be a part of your... All of a sudden, Hashem, chata mazeh chata'a gdola. What's going on here? Two explanations. Every time the Torah say Am, it's not Am Yisrael, it's Erev Rav. Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, Red ki shichet amcha, go down from the mountain, because your nation made a huge sin. Who? Erev Rav. Who there? Erev Rav made the golden calf and make a party. So why the nation of Israel suffer until this day from the golden calf? Why? Because they didn't destroy them. They had to burn them alive with their golden calf. To burn them to death. Take swords and kill all of them. If they'll do it, then like Pinchas did. Pinchas did it. You have a parashat Pinchas in the Torah. He's a legendary hero, Pinchas. Why? He did what Hashem wanted him to do. People make a golden calf and kiss the feet of the cow and dance around it and say, this is the God of Israel, and you let them dance and you don't kill them? That means you're not my lover. Very simple. No? Okay. So first thing, Moshe said, Chata mazeh chata'a gdola. But Moshe could have said that the nation made avon gadol, or pesha gadol. We have chet, we have avon, we have pesha. Chet, it's not intentional. Avon, it's intentional. Pesha, it's intentional to get God angry on purpose. not for my desire. For instance, a person knows you're not allowed to shave with a razor. The rabbi told him, he knows about it. But he doesn't like the shaving machine. He wants a baby women face. That's what he wants. 100 years ago, if a person walked without a beard, everyone would point at him in the street. Look at this. A woman. Yeah, that would be the end of him. One time you come with shaved face like this, no beard at all, the end of your career. You're not going to get married, nobody will talk to you, nobody will do business with you. They mark you as a not welcome place in society, by the Goyim, not only by the Jews, even by the Goyim. Look at all the wicked Goyim, all the communists, they all had beards. You heard about Herzl? Herzl was trying to convert all the Jews to Christianity. And as an appreciation, the Israeli foolish Knesset put his picture until this moment in the Knesset. You still have this picture. A person that wanted to make a damage worse than what the Nazis wanted to do to the Jews, because the Nazis wanted to kill the bodies. He wanted to take all the children and convert them to Christians, Catholic. He wrote a letter to the Pope, give me some time, I'll turn everyone to Christian and we will never have anti-Semitism anymore. This is the hero of the Zionist secular movement, communist, that came to Israel and took over everything. You understand? Even he had a beard, like this. His beard is longer than Rav Ovadia. Yeah.
הוא יהודי?
כן, he's a Jew, a liberal Jew, what we have today, that loves the enemies and, you know, and an activist. Bottom line, everyone had a beard. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if a person knows you're not allowed to shave with a razor, why he shave with a razor? Because it's not convenient for him. Or he wants to achieve something better. But he does it intentional, but not intentionally to get God angry. That's not his intention. His intention is to do it more convenient for myself. First, same thing, person is hungry, and he doesn't have anything kosher besides stale bread. Bread from a week ago, it's hardly, you won't die, you eat it, you survive. And then you have a pork steak came out of the grill. All your friends eat pork. I remember when I used to be working for the bank in a business many years ago, the bank headquarters was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Twice a year they had an annual convention nationwide. All the representatives that work for this bank come from all over the United States for a big weekend in hotel. You should see the food they used to serve. So I went there. I made already a reservation with them that they get me glad kosher food from where? Either from Cleveland or from Chicago. Because over there in Milwaukee, I didn't know anyone. I gave them an address where to order the food. Now you know how they send glad kosher food. It's like in the airplane. Lousy sandwich from 2 weeks ago, wrapped in a vacuum pack, in a styrofoam cover. Yeah, I wore, the table is maybe, I don't know, more than 200 representatives. Tons of pork, shrimp, Chinese, steaks, vegetables, desserts, tons of food. And here is this cuckoo guy, and I was the youngest one there, talking to you more than 15 years ago. So I'm the only one who eats like this, and they don't know where to start, like stuffing themselves like pigs. I became the star of the convention thanks to what I was eating. Why? Because everyone there wanted to know why I'm so crazy. So he asked me, what is this? And I gave him a 1-minute speech. And the Goyim, they don't have Yetzer Hara like the Jews against Torah. When a Goy hear Torah, his eyes comes out. Right away. You can talk to him until the morning, he's going to stand and listen. You talk to an Israeli guy Torah, oh, I have a train to catch. He has Yetzer Hara, doesn't let him. Yeah, I used to have a guy that I used to do business with. His name is Peter. Originally he's from Romania. A righteous man, even though his religion is fake, but really a lover of Hashem. Bemet, decent person, nice person, love Jews, respect Jews. Everything was nice about this guy. When I used to go once a month to his office, somewhere in the industrial area of Queens, he used to knit sweaters. He had 100 employees. They make sweaters. When I used to go to his business, as soon as I walk in, I'm telling you, there's maybe 20 lines on the phone. factory. Every second, Peter, line 1, Peter, line 2. As soon as I walked in, oh, he got up. Oh, my friend, come. What should I get for you? Don't worry, kosher. Already prepared for me. As soon as he said, give me something from the Torah. As soon as I knew, if I'm going to start, I'm here until the night. I sit over there, he doesn't let me go. I have to go. No, my friend, once a month you come, you're my guest. Tell me more. Every second, Peter, line 1. Again, Peter, line 1. 10 minutes. Peter, line 1. His wife screaming. He forgets from the business. He doesn't care orders, nothing. Why? No Yetzer Hara. There's no Yetzer Hara. Lehavdil, that's when Mashiach comes, the Jews will also be like this. No Yetzer Hara. Just Torah. Nothing, no food, no nothing. Just Torah. The soul is addicted. Give me more. Don't stop a second. So, there, I remember all the black representatives, they are more into religion. So they used to come to me, they asked me, tell us, how was the sacrifices in the temple? What was the whole idea? What's the secret? It became a shiur Torah to the goyim over there. Believe me. Why? I always say, the laws of the Torah are very strange. To a human logic, nobody understands what it means. It's all very strange laws. Why are they strange? Because they are not human. Anything that is not human is strange, for good or for bad. Here it's for good, because God gave it. But by looking how strange they are, then you know right away a person could never invent such laws. Nobody would have in mind such laws. Take the blood from the sacrifice, put it on the ear of the Kohen. Why, do you want to make him an earring? Put him in his toe, put him here, do 3 times in the altar, 4 times in this corner. Who cares? Take blood. I take the blood and I go like this on a piece of gold. What is people going to say? This guy is crazy. Take him maher to a psychiatrist. I'll pay the bill. Take him, quick. No? What person will make such laws? Then you see, it's things that we don't understand. I don't understand. Yes, it looks strange to me, but what's the point? What do I care? God said this is what you do, then I'm paying you big time. You have an open check, what do you worry? Right? If a person comes to you and say, I want you to go like this, every hour to hit your head like this. Every day, $1 million. You ask questions? I wouldn't take the risk asking too much questions, that they won't get annoyed. I'll do it twice if you want, no problem. Give me the $1 million, I go all day like this. People ask me, what do you do? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, all day. No? Some people say I'm crazy. What do I care? I'm crazy with $1 million. You a genius? Homeless. No? What's better? Right or wrong? If you know the Torah promised such huge reward, what are you asking too much question? Yeah, you want to learn. No problem. The Torah gives the answers to everything. In the end, you understand what you do. You understand what does it mean spirituality. But let's move on to what we started. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu come and say to Hashem, Chata ha'am hazeh chata'a gdola. Moshe knows, even a good lawyer knows, that when they show a movie of you in a court, and everybody see that you robbed the bank. Everybody see in a movie. What exactly the lawyer is going to say? Your Honor, my client didn't really rob the bank. It's only going to make the situation worse. Moshe knows what he's going to say to Hashem. No, they didn't make a sin. Hashem already told him, go, because your nation made a big sin. So what Moshe says? Hashem, you're right, they made a huge sin. But which word he used? Chata'ah, not intentional sin. They're fools. They're not really thinking what they're doing. Chata'ah, chet, the punishment for chet is much, much lower than avon. And what's pesha? You have pork and you have beef, glad kosher, you eat the pork. You can eat glad kosher. No, give me this, on purpose. Or you pick on the rabbis. Or you pick on religious people. You make fun of them. Why are you doing it? To get Hashem angry. You know, they are doing what they do because they listen to God. Your problem is not with them. Your problem is with Hashem. That's why you pick on them. What, you're afraid? You're embarrassed to curse Hashem. So you curse the religious guy. You understand the idea? Many times when people argue with me, I tell them, you don't really argue with me. You're arguing with the Torah of Hashem. But it's much easier to address me as the target. Because with me, you feel good. It's me against him. Why are you going to stand in front of Hashem and complain why he gave the Torah, why he made the Torah like this? You're not that fool. Okay, so let's go on a person who reads to me parts from the Torah. Before we finish, we have a few more minutes, so let's take advantage on them. Midarkei HaTshuva, very important what I'm about to say now. Pay attention. The ways of tshuva, that a person who makes tshuva, makes repentance, always scream to Hashem. Not like the people who pray like this. No. Don't have to scream loud. Scream means that it comes directly from the heart. Or if you're alone in a house, scream. Rock the building. Why not? Nobody is around you. Well, you have nobody to embarrass from. You cry, you scream like mishuga. If a person just got a call from his bank manager that the FBI froze $100 million that he saved 40 years. In 1 minute they took everything. What is he going to do? Believe me, you're going to hear his screams all the way from Manhattan. Right? You know, one time there was one religious guy screaming in a shul, and another guy got angry. The other guy, civilized, he comes like he's in a library. The other guy gets angry. Stop, don't scream. Stop, don't scream. So one time he said, I can't take this anymore. You scream, you make everyone disturbed. So he went to him. Boom! He gave him smack like this. The guy, oi! He said, why did you scream? You scream, you make noise. So what do you mean? You hurt me. So why? So why if I hurt you? What's the big deal? Why you scream? He said, it hurts. So you see? When it hurts, you scream. That's why I scream. My sin hurts. You got the point? מדרכי התשובה להיות השב צועק תמיד לפני השם. Always, every day, every hour. Hashem, forgive me, show me the way, help me not to make the same sin again. That's a real תשובה. This is Rambam, not me. בבכי ובתחנונים. Crying every day, not only on Yom Kippur in Tfilat Ne'ilah. Few people remember to cry 1.5 tears. You know, before they fall on a table, it's dry already. You know, ועושה צדקה, gives a lot of donation. Why a person who makes tshuva has to give more religious from birth? Why? Because a person who was born religious, every day of his life, he was following the Torah. Yeah, of course, everyone makes sins, everyone. But not routine, here and there, but not as a system. Every day it's not kosher. Every day no tefillin. Every day no tefillah. Every week no Shabbat. No. Here and there. So he doesn't have that much to correct. A person that one day become Baal Tshuva, whatever age he is, all the years that are gone are gone. You have to make it up for all the money you made. You didn't give 10%. You are 30 years old. Since you are 13, 17 years you didn't give tzedakah. Since you're 18, let's say you started to work when you're 18 or 20, whatever it was. From the time you made money, 10 years you're behind. You know how much you owe? So, since tzedakah is the best tool to erase your sins, why? If you make $100 a day, and you give somebody $100 to a poor person, or to a person who sits and learns Torah, it doesn't count that you gave $100. It counts that you gave 1 day of your life. You understand? If you give $700, you gave a week of your life. If you give $3,000, it counts like you gave a month of your life. It's like a person died for 1 month for the tshuva. The money, that's why money in Hebrew called damim, bloods. Because life and money is the same thing. You make money, you give your life for the money. You work, you make $10 an hour, $10 from it's an hour of your life. A person that makes $10,000 an hour, he gave 10,000, you gave $10, it's the same mitzvah. Same mitzvah. When Reichman gave $100 million check to Rav Shach, $100 million in one transaction. You know what we're talking here about? $100 million. There was one guy in yeshiva, when they heard that, everyone was talking about yeshiva. He said to the rabbi, I'm not impressed, I give more tzedakah than him. Why? Because he heard that they make over $1 billion in a deal, so they came to give exactly 10%. And that guy said to everyone, I give more than 10%. You understand? As far as the act, he's right. Yeah, but he's wrong about something. What is he wrong about? To give tzedakah, Hashem give you 3 different rewards. Every mitzvah, not only tzedakah. Every mitzvah have 3 different rewards. 3 different categories. Sometimes you get 2 out of the 3. Sometimes 1 out of the 3. Something nothing out of the 3. Sometimes all 3. Depend. What's the reward? First is one reward is what came out of your money. What came out of your mitzvah. Something good came out of it or nothing happened. If something good came out of it, for the something good you also get reward. Even though it wasn't in your hand. It wasn't in your hand. Right? Let's say you pay a doctor $1,000 to go try to save life. And the doctor failed and the patient died. You get the $1,000 that you gave, how much of your life is, Hashem pays you. For that there is a price. How did you do the mitzvah? Happy or depressed? Upset or l'shem shamayim? For the sake of heaven, that's a separate reward. And that's include if you did it mehudar or not mehudar. You get fill-in. You get the best one or you get the worst one. Just that it's kosher, Rabbi. Most of the people tell me, as long as it's kosher, I don't care mehudar. Why you don't care mehudar? If you buy your girlfriend perfume, you're going to buy her the cheapest one? You're going to try to impress her, no? She's more important than Hashem? You have covenant with Hashem is tefillin. Every day of your life, tefillin, it's a covenant on the heart and on the soul, on the brain. It's not worth to invest $200 for the next 30 years? Take $200 divided to 30 years. How much is a day? Not even a penny. 1 penny a day is mitzvah that is 100% special and great. It's mitzvah that is barely kosher. Barely kosher. Same thing mezuzot. But this is a one-time investment. It's not every hour. If it's every hour, I understand. You don't have the money. But for such an important thing, 30 years, every day, the same covenant, you want to save $200? When he goes to buy his Mercedes, what do you have special today? Sunroof, 5,000 extra. Push it in. Special stereo with extra 2 speakers. How much? 3,000. Push it in. Special wheels, $1,000 each wheel. Go. Don't you have gold for the tires? Gold? No, I don't like silver. Gold. Okay, no problem. This, leather, that, another $20,000. The whole car is $20,000. The extra is $21,000. Comes to tefillin. Rabbi, how much? $750, the best. By me, it's like this. Somewhere else can be $1,500. But doesn't matter. Now you want something. What do you have cheaper? $550. Oh, good. Give me. Rich people. Rich. It's interesting. Sometimes poor people, mamash, talmidei yeshiva, don't make any money. A little bit shekel here, $1 there. No, I want the best. Give me another 2 weeks, I try to get the money. Rich guy? No, it's kosher. Okay. Don't you have something cheaper than this? 1 year it takes to make tefillin. They want cheaper than $500. Huh? What do you say about this? 1 year process. If you know how much. If they would make tefillin in America, minimum, the cheapest pair, $10,000. Labor. Minimum. Know how many hours of work? An American professional guy would work for less than $35 an hour? Professional, not talking cleaning the restaurant, the dishes. Professional. Technician of teeth, making teeth, something professional. Electrician would work for less than $35. Take the amount of hours it takes to make film, just labor alone will be $8,000. Plus the material and this. Know how much work? They're lucky they make it in Israel. There's one sofer here in Brooklyn, he makes it here. Just walking into his shop, $1,000 down payment. Nothing to talk about less than that. Everything is tripled by him. Why? It's made in America. And the Syrians buy. Because it's one of them. They buy. They don't have problem with money, most of them, but the idea is, he makes it here, he has very good hand, they pay him triple on the price. They can go and bring it for Israel for a lot less. They know him, he's from the community, they pay. Why? In America, everybody understands, it costs more money. Okay, let's move on. And he does tzedakah kefi kocho. So remember, a person that today became religious, and is a very wealthy guy, First thing he has to do, and I hope all the people who watch me at home later, that's the first thing they do when they want to become righteous. They take a big amount of their money and give it right away to tzedakah. That's a very good step forward in the beginning. Right away from 0, you jump to 60, 70. Why? You say to Hashem, look, you see, now I made a lot of sin in my life. I didn't keep Shabbat. I wasn't honest in a business. Here, I take this money, sacrifice it to you. Here, just to show you that the reason I made the sin is not for my stomach. I was a fool. I was an ignorant. I wasn't paying attention. I'm giving you back the pleasure I had. Here, take it. Take it. Here, take 6 months of my life. Take it. Take $20,000. It's 6 months of my life. Take it. Don't punish me from all the forbidden pleasures I had. You know what an impression it makes in your file? You have no idea. There's no words to describe such a tshuva. That's why it's hard. You see, people hardly give. Hardly give. Then we move on. מתרחק הרבה מהדבר שחטא בו. A person knows what his weaknesses. What's my weaknesses? Movies. I do everything I can not to have access to any computer because I know it's going to lead me to bad things. What other weakness I have? Sport. Too much wasting time on sport. I don't go to any area that sports over there or people that talks about sport. What's my weaknesses? I'm jealous when I see rich people. I don't go to fancy neighborhoods. I make fences for myself. The Torah didn't say don't go to a fancy neighborhood. But the Torah says stay away from what you're weak. You're weak with girls, don't go to area where the girls are not modest. Don't go. I brought one guy to the yeshiva, Hajbi his name, Yemenite Israeli, that was traveling with a bag on his thing, completely secular. Brought him to Monsey, became very religious, he had very thick glasses. He took the glasses and walked on the street without seeing anything. Until one time I came in front of him, I was 4 steps away from him, he didn't recognize me. I said, Hajbi, what, you don't say hello? He said, oh, I'm sorry. He took his glasses from his pocket, he put it on. He said, I don't see anything. I said, why you walk like this? He said, better, I don't want, by mistake, I don't see a not modest woman. So I said to him, why? That was more than 10 years ago. I said, in Monsey, you don't find not modest women. 10 years ago, it was true. Today, there's too many amigas walking today, you know, in between jobs. So he was taking his glasses not to make a scene. Why? You know his weakness. You see a girl, you may look at her. It's a big sin. You learn all day Torah. You go, you see things you're not supposed to look. It takes away all your holiness. Nobody can take away your mitzvot unless if you say in your mouth that you regret that you did it. If you say, I wish I wouldn't do it, then you lost it. But any other way, even you make sins, you don't lose your mitzvot. If you make a sin, you don't lose the mitzvah, but you lose the holiness of the mitzvah. Which means if you sit and learn Torah for a month, and then you come out of the yeshiva, you're very spiritual now, you feel that you're an angel. You already look at the world from a different point of view, and then you look at a not modest girl for a second or two, all the holiness a minute later is gone. Nobody can take away the 1 month Torah you learn. That's already waiting for you for life of eternity. But certain sins take away all your holiness right away. It will take you a long time now to build it, such as cursing, looking at dirty movies, looking at women on the street, looking at things you're not supposed to look. Takes away from your holiness, from your level of holiness. If a person has Ruach HaKodesh, you see a prophecy clear in his eyes, and he gets angry, he loses the prophecy. Hashem takes it away from him. Why? You're angry? That shows you have no faith in me, no emunah. Because if you have emunah in me, you'll never dare to be angry 1 second of your life. How a person can get angry? Get angry means it's all coincidence. But if I know you did it to me, I get angry at you. I lost $100. I can get angry at Hashem. If I get angry, that means I think it's coincidence. Bad luck. Bad luck, you get angry. Why me? Bad luck. If you know Hashem reached his hand and took it from your pocket, you get angry? Not only you don't get angry, you're ashamed. So I'm very sorry that I had to get this punishment. Thank you that it's only this. Believe me, you don't get angry. If you know you deserve 20 years in prison and the judge is nice to you and says, I give you probation 3 months. You know the lawyer prepared you for 20 years. And the judge says, I see you're a good guy. You became religious. Okay, only 3 month probation. You get angry at the judge? or if you could run and kiss his feet, you would do it in front of everyone. You appreciate it, right? You know it was good to you. Same thing here. Mamash, we almost finished. So it says like this. It says like this. Staying as much as he can from those sins that he's weak with. And one also very important thing, if he can go to exile. Now, exile doesn't mean necessarily he has to leave Israel and go to live in America or in France or anywhere else or in Zimbabwe. No. It's enough that he leaves a comfortable place where he's familiar with everyone and he moves to a place that he has to start from zero and he has a lot of agony until he settles down. That's already considered galut. Galut. Exile. Sitting in a sukkah is galut of 1 week. You go out of your home, your convenient bedroom, sit in a sukkah. Smell, freezing, wind, rain, all kinds of problems. מפני שגורמת לו להיכנע. Going to exile, make you surrender and take your ego down. ולהיות ענב ושפל רוח, and to become humble. You have nobody to break to. Who are you going to break to? You bought a beautiful tie. All your friends are in Israel. You moved to Zimbabwe. Who are you going to go to? To Konta Kinte, to show him your new tie from Macy's, whatever. Hey, Konta, look, I bought a $40 tie. What? What's tie? What's this? What are you pressing me? I walk without a shirt all my life. You know? Shevach Gadol. It's a great level to a person that really sins to the public. מגלה עבירות שבינו לבין חברו. Not sins that he does with Hashem in hidden rooms, no. Sins that he did with his friend. For instance, I insulted my friend, and I hurt him, and I know he's angry, and I say, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, attention please. I want to ask Mechila from Reuven. 2 weeks ago, I insulted him by mistake or intentionally. Whatever I say wasn't true. I ask him to forgive me. That's a very big level of tshuva. Why? The more people hear it, the more embarrassment you have. The more embarrassment you have, it erases right away the sin, and even more than that. But you don't come and say, I have my girlfriend Christine and I went with her the other night to the hotel. That's Chilul Hashem. Nobody has to know about this. You understand? In the previous shiur, he can tell you, he was there. We read the Gemara in Masechet Moed Katan. The Gemara said that if a person decided to make a sin and that's it, he surrendered to his Yetzer Hara. It's better to wear black, like the Goyim used to wear in those days, all black, cover himself with a black sack, go far away from his hometown, to a place nobody knows him, to make the sin over there, to prevent Chilul Hashem. Disgracing the name of God is a bigger sin, worse than the actual sin. To come and say, to make a sin with a girl is one very big sin. To come and now make Chilul Hashem that everybody knows about it, it's even worse than the actual sin. You understand? So it's between you and him. Now you ask him to forgive you. He forgives you, of course. And then it's not, the sin is like never took place. It's like getting right away out of your file. And everyone feel greatly about you. What a hero. In spite of everyone, he apologized. And this is the way to do a perfect tshuva. Someone who is proud and does not say, the Torah say on him, mechaseh psha'av lo yatzliach. Someone who covers his crimes will not succeed. B'meh medubar, Rambam say, what are we talking here about? Sins between a person to another person. בין אדם לחברו. אבל בין עבירות שבין אדם למקום אינו צריך לפרסם עצמו. Sins between him and God, as I just said, doesn't have to say to everyone. What does the Torah say? מכסה פשעיו לא יצליח. Someone who covers his crimes will not succeed. ומודה ועוזב ירוחם. Someone who admits and leave the sin, and right away will receive mercy from Hashem. 3 more minutes left. Let's try to finish this page. במה דברים אמורים, we said, אלא, now the Rambam says, even though to make tshuva and to scream to Hashem as much as you can with tears, it's a very good thing. In the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, it's much greater. Much greater. And get accepted much faster. שנאמר, דירשו השם בהימצאו. Search for Hashem when He's close to you. When is He close to you? In the 10 days of Tshuva. Between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, in the month of Elul in general. From Rosh Chodesh Elul to Yom Kippur, 40 days. What does it mean when you are alone? When you are alone with Hashem, this is it. Aval betzibur, when all the publics together scream and make tshuva, even not in the 10 days of tshuva, all year round, your tshuva automatically goes expressed to Hashem with them, because it's one unit. One unit, Hashem takes as one big thing. Each one individual, the 10 day of tshuva, you can do a lot better. The rest of the year, it's much less of a chance. But with a group, everyone screamed together, everyone decided to fast today, everyone cries, everyone reads slichot, your tshuva gets expressed to Hashem. I'm sure some of you didn't know about this. It's very important. Next time you know, oh, let me get 10 of my friends, we'll do a day of tshuva and Torah and scream. I can erase sins of who knows how many years. It's a big thing. Yom HaKippurim, we'll talk next week, Be'ezrat Hashem. We'll talk about Yom HaKippurim. Actually, it's not that fast. Maybe in 2 minutes we'll finish it. Okay, so in Yom HaKippurim, obviously it's a day full of viduim, confession all day. Another one, and slichot. We know that, Yom Kippur. Right? It starts from the night before until the next night. And we fast, so the fasting take away many of the sins. And then Tfilat Ne'ilah, the last hour of Yom Kippur, the most important prayer of the year. And the vidui that the nation of Israel do, Chatanu, Avinu, Pashanu, that's the foundation of the vidui. But it doesn't mean you cannot add your own words. I did this, and I did this, even though it's not in the list. You're allowed to add things that it's not in the list that you know you did. You have to add, not you allowed, you have to add. Because the vidui doesn't cover specific things that you did. It's not here. Right? Or the Yom HaKippurim and the tshuva of the Yom HaKippurim only erase sins between you and to another person. No, I'm sorry, between you and Hashem. But sins between you and other people cannot be erased until you comfort them, ask for forgiveness. If you owe them money, you must first pay the money back. And apologize for the inconvenience and the pain that you caused them by holding their money so long. If you do not do that and your friend did not forgive you, your sin is still in your file. It's not erased. You know this, sometimes you try to delete something from a computer, it's clever, it doesn't let you delete all day, you would go crazy. You cannot delete here, you cannot delete, that's still there, my friend. You know why it's not deleting? Because you didn't pay back the money, or your friend didn't forgive you yet. You understand? So a person has to ask for the person for forgiveness. And after that, then Hashem will forgive him as well. Okay, now, the last halacha for today. If he insulted his rabbi, or a Talmid Chacham, someone who knows a lot of Torah, and he asked him for forgiveness, if it's a regular person, up to 3 times he has to apologize and ask for forgiveness. After 3 times, if the person doesn't want to forgive, you don't have to ask anymore. I did 3 times, this guy is stubborn, what can I do? All my life, stand by his door. But if he's a Talmid Chacham, up to 1,000 times, it's still not enough. If you went 900 times every day, forgive me, Rabbi, forgive me, Rabbi, forgive me, say no, don't deserve, goodbye. 900 times, 999 times, still not forgiven. You come to Shamayim, you say, what do you want from me, Hashem? 3 years in a row, every day I go to him. 950 times I went there, I counted how many days. And he doesn't want to forgive me. Hashem said, you didn't do enough. But up to 1,000 times, afilu 1,000 פעמים עד שימחול לו, the Rambam says, afilu 1,000 פעמים means much more than that even. It's just give an example. Even if you went 1,000 times, if he didn't forgive you, you have a serious problem, my friend. So a smart Jew never dare to make a beep against any Jew that knows a lot of Torah, or teach Torah, or teach in yeshiva, or give lectures, or answer questions in halacha. Never deal with fire. This is an atomic bomb. You made a sin between you and your friend, 3 times you ask, your friend didn't forgive, you clean. If you pay back the money. If it's not money involved, you ask him to forgive, fine. But someone who knows Torah, you insulted him, how much you're going to have to sweat, so be very careful. And a person should never be cruel. Should always be comfortable and forgive quickly. Don't torture the person as revenge. If he comes to ask for mechila, try to do it right away. Try not to be makpid on people. Don't be strict with people. Don't hold anything against them for no reason. Not every little thing you have to be angry and upset at people. You understand? Why? Because the nation of Israel have to be merciful. This is one of the 3 things that a Jew should have. Be shy, have embarrassment, be shy, have mercy, and be kind. Like to help. Don't be a sociomat. Don't be an egoistic person. You understand? But the Ovdei Kochavim, the idol worshippers, it's a different story. They don't forgive that easy. Where do we learn it in the Torah? The Givonim did not forgive. They not forgive. They asked the Mechila so many times, they didn't want to forgive. If you made a sin to your friend and he died before you had the chance to apologize and to ask for Mechila, you bring 10 people to his grave and you stand in front of the grave and you say the sin you made to him. And you say in front of you, I'm asking for him to forgive me, I regret that I did it, I wish I had never done it, and I'm sorry that I caused him all this pain. And if he owes him money, he's still not forgiven because he died. You know, he has to look for his people who inherit him, if he has sons, if his brother took his money, whatever, these relatives that took his belongings, and he owes them the money. Because obviously if he gave all the money to this individual, if he had the money that he stole from him, he would give it to him as well. So you have to go and give it to him. If he doesn't have any Orshim, nobody took his place, you have to give it to Bedin, make vidu in front of the Bedin, that this money you stole from that person who died, and he left no people in the world, such as a convert. If a convert became a Jew, and he still didn't get married, and he doesn't have kids, and he died, he doesn't have any relatives. His biological father and mother are not his parents anymore. His biological brother, sister, anyone in his family are not his family. They are goyim and he's a Jew. So if you owe him money, if you stole from him, besides the fact that you violated 36 restrictions in the Torah, that the Torah says 36 times to love the converts, to help them, not to torture them, not to steal from them in any other way, besides that you messed yourself with a big problem, you have nobody to give it to. So you have to go to the Beit Din, give it over there, and ask the Beit Din for forgiveness for that convert. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen v'Amen. Monday, shiur in Hebrew here, 10:15.